Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how to walk bass on the guitar and comp chords at the same time. We're going to be using the jazz standard Autumn Leaves, and we're going to be in the key of G minor or B flat major. So let's get into it. We're going to start with the C minor chord, or the 2 chord, in the key of B flat. And what I'm doing here is I'm barring to hold the C minor 7th. I'm using my thumb to walk bass and my index and my middle finger for now to pluck 2-note chords. Now you have the option of letting these chords ring out or stopping them. And I'm going to be doing both of those techniques throughout. So it's a good idea to try to mix it up as you play through this bass line. And whenever you pick your chord shapes and your scale, you want to pick a spot on the guitar where you can do this, where you can hold on to the chord and then continue to walk, or a spot where you can let go of the chord and continue to walk. So again, you want to be able to do both of these things, and you'll see more as we go through the chords. So that was our C minor. Let's continue to the F7, the 5 chord. Now right there you see I am playing a B13. This is just a tritone sub for the F. You can still think of it as an F7. It's like an F7 with a sharp 9, but I'm playing a B note, and that's going to get us to the B flat, the next chord. And I'm letting that chord ring out, okay? So I start with my F7. The bass is playing the F, and then it goes to the 5th of the chord, down to a half step to B, and I play the B13. I hit that B again, and then we're to the B flat, the 1 chord. Okay, again, playing a 2-note chord on the B flat major 7. Now for the B13, I used an additional finger. I used the ring finger, okay? So I'm going to be using 2 and 3 fingers to comp the chords while my thumb is playing the bass line. So let's go back to the C. Right here, B13, and then B flat. Now for that, you want to try to keep this chord ringing out. And I'm just playing around the scale. I'm playing the root, the 7th, back to the root, and then this D is the 3rd. It's also going to approach the next chord, the E flat. Now right here, I play the chord and the bass at the same time, and then just the 2 notes of the chord. This is a shell voicing for the E flat major 7 with the 3rd and the 7th. Okay, so once we get to that point, I'm walking down. I'm going to stretch to get a G sharp because that's going to approach the next chord, which is A, okay, an A minor 7 flat 5. So that's going to be a chromatic approach to the next chord. So let's go through that first line one more time. We have the 2 chord, the 5, tritone sub, the 1 chord, and then here's E flat, the 4 chord. Now we're approaching the next chord, the A minor 7 flat 5. Now right here, I'm sticking with the A in the bass. I'm not walking that much. I'm just basically playing the same note in the bass. And I change the voicing slightly. I go from an A minor 7 flat 5, and then I take that flat 5 down to the 4 or the 11. So it becomes like an A minor 11th. And I hit that all at the same time. And then this is going to be an E flat that approaches the D. And then I'm going to be playing a D7 flat 9. I'm barring to get these notes. We have the root in the bass. And then we have the 5th, which is the A. And then I do a little diminished passing, some diminished passing chords. Get you to your G minor. So those are 2 diminished chords. They're the same shape, and they resolve to G minor. You can kind of think of it as a D7. It's this shape right there is just D7, but with the A in the bass. Right there, it's still kind of D7, but it's got the this time the F sharp in the bass. So we have F sharp. This note right here is your E flat, which is a flat 9. and then the A on top. And that resolves to G minor. At this point, I'm going to bar and just walk. I'm just walking up and down the scale at that point. And then after that, that's the first A section basically. I'm getting ready to repeat the A section. Now what I'm doing here is I'm turning that G minor into a G7, and I'm doing the same diminished idea that I did for the D7 to get to G minor. So I'm going to do the same idea for G7 to get back to C minor. This time, I'm starting from below, going above, and then walking down chromatically, and that's going to get us to C minor. So let's go through that line one more time, starting from the A minor 7, flat 5. Approach the D, diminished, G minor, walk up the scale, and then that diminished idea again. And then we're back to C minor. Almost the same thing this time, just changing up the order of the notes, and I'm adding in a third note for the chord, but essentially the same thing as before. This time I'm playing the B13 first, so I'm playing the tritone sub first, and then I'm walking to the F, and then there's your F7 flat 9. Again, try to hold on to these chord shapes while you walk the bass. When I get to the B flat, I'm adding a third note again. This time I'm adding the 13. I play that B flat twice, and then I'm gonna use the same diminished approach that I did before, except this time we're gonna get to the 4 chord, to E flat. Same idea, okay? And then here's E flat. Now on this segment, I chose to play a chord on every quarter note with the bass, and it's got this nice walking movement with both the chords and the bass, and I'm doing those same diminished approaches, kind of going down the scale. So E flat, the 4 chord, diminished to C minor, going down the scale again, to B flat, this time a B flat 6, and then that's going to get us to the next chord. So let's do that line one more time. From the C minor 7th, this is the second A section. Tritone sub. This is the 5 chord. And then chromatic approach to the B flat. And then D, diminished. To the 4 chord. Walking down. And here we go to the last line. We're back on the A minor 7, flat 5. Same thing, I'm holding out that A, but this time I'm only doing 2 notes. And the second time, I turn it into a fully diminished. Then I approach the D chord. This time I'm doing a D7 sharp 9. And then after that, I'm going up and doing some more diminished chords. So this all works for the D7. I'm just subbing out some diminished chord. You can basically think of it as a D7 with a raised root or a flattened 9, and that gives you the diminished shape. And then with that shape, you can move it up or down in minor thirds, and it's the same chord. What I'm doing here is I'm just not playing the B string. Okay, and then we're going to resolve to the G minor chord. And I'm playing a G minor 6 this time. And I'm alternating between the root and the 5th, and then playing the chord at the end. And there you go. So that's the 2 A sections for Autumn Leaves. Now I didn't do the B section because I want you to try to do it yourself. This lesson is to teach you how to create your own walking bass lines and how to comp on your own. So you can learn how to play exactly how I just did it, but the goal is to be able to make this yourself and eventually be able to improvise these bass lines and these chord shapes. So try this out, try it over Autumn Leaves, try to create a walking bass line, and chords over the B section, which is essentially the same chords with some slight variations, and then try it for other tunes. Okay, thanks for watching. If you want a PDF of this, you can check out my Patreon in the links below. Thanks again.